the key players that made sure that this got done this year, all of which helped last year when we came close, but more importantly, all who worked during the summer and then came back and through a tumultuous legislative session helped lead the way. I want to give them the opportunity to say a quick word before I sign in. We take questions. Let me. I didn't check the map, Representative Still. I'm assuming I'm in your district. So I'm gonna stick with the right order here. Representative Mary Still.
Thank you, and on behalf of the 25th District, welcome to all our other representatives. I noticed Jeff Grismore has just arrived. I just want to say one or two quick things. Number one, for those of you who have not worked with Governor Nixon before, clue in to this. He will figure out a way to get the ball across the goal line. So, thank you, Governor. Ginger Lutemeyer is an advocate among many, but of the advocates and lobbyists I've worked with in Jefferson City, she's the best one that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. Also, the whole process, I just think, has really restored my confidence in government, in that regular people, Missouri citizens, joined together and stood up against special interest, and their voices were heard. And one of the leaders in that on the House floor was Representative Grill from Kansas City, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
Thank you very much. Grill and Still, we try to stick together on the House floor. Later you'll hear from maybe from Steve Weber Grill too. My name is Representative Jason Grill. I'm from Kansas City area, and I was one of the sponsors of House Bill 1341 and the co-sponsor of 1311, which Representative Schnardorf sponsored. So I was on the front lines working with everyone on this legislation. I got my interest in autism through Autism Speaks in the Kansas City area and doing it different groups with them and on the Kansas side as well. But I just wanted to say this is a huge landmark legislation. Couldn't have been done without everyone in this room. We talk about the governor and the legislature, but really it's the advocates who were down in Jeff City. It's the media who reported on the Autism Bill and who called out the Speaker of the House for siding with the insurance industry way too much. It's all the different groups that played a big part. It's not just us standing up here. So I wanted to get everyone to give a round of applause to everyone in this room before we sign this legislation, because without all of the people in this room and throughout the state, this legislation could never be realized. So let's give a round of applause to everyone. Lastly, I just want to point out that the governor mentioned we do have a cost of living adjustment in this bill. And from what I understand, after talking to Representative Schnardorf and others, this is the only state in the United States that does have it in their legislation. So we're a first on that, 20th overall to pass legislation dealing with this, but we're definitely a first on that measure. So I wanted to give the baton now, I guess, to Representative Grismore, who's a good friend of mine from the Kansas City area, who started this legislation 3 years ago and has been instrumental in all the processes we've gone through and all the different bills. We just arrived, and without him, without the bipartisan nature of this bill, I'm a Democrat, he's a Republican, we're able to push this bill over the finish line with the governor's help as well. So I'd like to bring him up here to speak real briefly on the bill.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to